Good morning. This is Bo Freeman with NC State Cooperative Extension here at the Gardener's Corners. Glad you could join us today. I will be talking a little bit about what we did in 2 weeks ago. I don't know how much was said last week about the Farm City Week or not, but we did a whole bunch of things. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows that what we did, because it was wonderful. It's a great opportunity for agriculture to show the light of educating non-ag folks, those that, once again, whether it be this city, urban, neighbors, whomever, about what we do in agriculture and how it affects Person County. And a lot of people don't realize what it is about and what it does. And like I said, that's what the week is for. So we started out this with a plan. We got a committee together and volunteers, majority of it. And they said, okay, well, let's put a week together. We've done one a breakfast before, but let's look at a whole week of activities that center around Farm City. So they put together a wonderful agenda of what to do from everything from Monday, November the 3rd, all the way through Saturday, November the 8th. And it worked well. So we put all this together and we wanted to show off what Person County Ag is all about because we're a rural county and agriculture has been a part of our past from day one. So we started it out with Monday with a proclamation. And we wanted to get people to go to the county commission meeting and talk a little bit about ag and what it does. Our chair of our Farm City Committee, Kate Love, went up and read the proclamation to the commissioners, and the commissioners went through it and they voted on it, and it passed unanimously. So all of them felt that it was a wonderful opportunity to show off agriculture. And a lot of the key points within the proclamation did talk about some of the statistics of agriculture. A lot of people did not realize that there's over 350 farms here in Person County, and that we will total up with well over 80,000, almost actually 90,000 acres of farmland. Plus, you add in forestry on top of that, 120. And so we got a lot of acres in ag. And we actually had a map of the parcels that are ag deferred. And when you look at that map, it is evident that agriculture is the background of Person County because it is very reflective of all the bona fide ag lands that we have here and what we do. And when you stop and think about what do you mean by what we do? Well, when you look at gross sales, it was over 100 and, or excuse me, $45 million in gross sales. And that's just the stuff from the farm. That's not talking about the stuff that goes to the farm. When you look at the camp chemicals and what they sell the farmers, or what T.G. Brooks Supply Company sells the farmers, or when you stop and think about Southern States and the propane that they sell the farmers and all the other stuff. I'm just giving you broad examples of some of the things that we get money here in Person County for agriculture. So it's not just one-time number. It grows. And once again, a majority of these farmers live in Person County. They pay taxes in Person County. They send their kids to school in Person County. They're active on lots of different boards in Person County. It's not a stagnant amount of value. So we reflect on that as we go through. But one of the best things that I liked about the proclamation where it stops and says, whereas the collaboration between farm and city residents strengthens our community. Collaboration. I love that word. We work together. As I said in one of my discussion points at Farm City Breakfast, I went, it's better to be curious and not judgmental. So ask, what are they doing? Instead of saying, well, they're spreading poison. No, they're it may be, but water's poisonous if you take it in the wrong place. So ask the questions, find out about the science. And if you don't want to talk to them, come talk to us. That's what we're here for with Person County Extension. We're trying to give you research-based information. So come see us, and we'll try to get you the answer that you need to hear or that you should listen to. Because as I also have said in the past, Google is a wonderful resource, but remember the resources are swayed by the dollars that are invested. Because when you do that little search for an item, sponsored, sponsored pops up a lot quicker. So just remember that amount. Now back to our ag and our Farm City week. We had a blast. But Monday night, we had both farmers, restaurateurs, as well as some youth that came out to help support. Then Tuesday, we went to Uptown, the city side of things. Well, we talk. We're going to talk more about farming, but we got to remember the city. The city is a very important component. So where do we go? We go to Uptown. Who's the big, Chamber of Commerce? Hey, and then Allison Satterfield stepped up and said, "Hey, let's do this at my shop." So Allison, with the butcher's daughter, came in, and she was a wonderful host, and she actually brought in some of the farmers that sell products at her store. And once again, farmers selling products at a local store to a lot of local people. Added value, added value, added value. I love it. We're doing great. But we talked a little bit about what ag meant and parcels of agriculture and what we do and what we see. It was a great opportunity for us. And then we turned around and went on a tour. And the tour was of Uptown and the murals that were there. And who better to talk about the art in Uptown than the Kirby Art Council? So they had somebody came in and led the tour. And we have lots of wonderful information on some of the murals. And if you haven't been to Uptown and looked at all the murals that are all over that place, and I mean in the alleyways, in the front yards, in the back ones, on buildings, they're all over. So we walked and talked and saw some of them. And that being said, we went all the way around to Hall's Way and came back around, and the great big one that's there on Main Street. Well, a lot of people didn't realize it had been redone because it had started fading. And the Visitors Bureau paid for the revamping of it. And we want to thank them and what they did to get that done. Once again, collaboration. We're all working in this together. Collaboration. And then Claudia Berryhill not only brought up the artist side of things, that's what the girl at the Kirby was focused on. She went on to the historical components of what was there before, why they put this, how this is the entranceway to uptown Roxborough. So it was a good opportunity. And then also, I raised my hand and went, stop, turn around, look at the sunset. It was gorgeous. We also need to remember to stop and take advantage of what we have right in front of us instead of focus on where we need to go and what we need to do. So remember that in Person County as we're driving around. Remember, don't just focus about, I got to get to school. Look around and enjoy the trees or the grass or the beauty as we go into some of the holiday spirit. Enjoy it. Don't just think about the goals that you have in it. Take your time. You will enjoy it more. And we all just went, wow, that was a great sunset. So that was one of those things that we need to take advantage of. So don't always go there. Now, also while we were at the tour, some people uh, got to sample some of the processing that occurs within Uptown, and they went into Black Creek Brewery, and there they partake of some of our local refined products that have been come through. Because you got to remember, they brew everything they there. So it's another opportunity to support, collaborate, be a part of community. Now, on Wednesday, we went to the library and we did horticulture how to. And that was a great thing that we did. Johnny led the tour. We ended up talking about outside. We were with the raised beds that the master gardeners had done, and it was a wonderful experience there. We took care of that. We went to look at those. Johnny is wonderful. He knows his stuff. And he was telling about different plants. He'd reach down and grab one and say, now this one likes this kind of soil, wants this kind of sunlight, does well here, doesn't do well there, and going back and forth. And then somebody, excuse me, raised their hand and said, well, why is this bed so much lower than the rest of them? And he just sort of chuckled and said, we use too much compost in that one. So he says it's disintegrated. So we've got some problems there. So he went into an explanation of how to fix it. So that's what we really like is the small groups, the interaction, the things that pop up, because that's what Johnny's good at because he's so knowledgeable. Master gardeners were there too because they're the ones that built this and installed this. So we were at the library and it was great. On inside, they go in and the library has a seed library and you can go in and get some seeds for free. But I will go on and say their germination will not be 90% like what you buy in the store. But if you're just looking to try something or something new or something old, it's an opportunity to get. And let's get real. Prices are going to be going up on seeds as well. So maybe a good time to go get you some. So it's at the library. Remember, the library is on Main Street and it's free to go in and use it. They got a lot of good stuff there. Also at the library, they've got a display window that's got lovely clovers in it. The 4-H clovers, no less. We've got 4-Hers that are celebrating some of their recent achievements that they've had in the state fair or state this or regional that, and they've got this up there. Once again, it could be from the Feather Classic, the Turkey Show, it could be from the Incredible Egg, or the state fair where they drew something or sewed something, or lots of different things. We do well at the state fair, and will show you a little bit about what we do and how we do it. But it will be up all month long, so you're not missing it yet. So head out to the library and take a look and see what 4-Hers are doing. And while you're there, or while you're thinking about 4-H and you've got young people, why don't you register them? It's free. Anybody from K through 12, go on 4-H online, and that's what it is, 4-H online, and search, and it'll pop up, and you can register your kids for free. So feel free to, and that way you're on our mailing list. So if you're interested in this, we can send you information, or that, or you can get information. So it's a great opportunity to get involved. Now, next we will be talking about the Farm City Breakfast. And I'm going to take a little break right now and let you listen to some of the folks who have helped sponsor this program, The Gardener's Corner, for a long time. So please listen to them, and I will be back in just a few minutes. Thank you.
Are you ready to tackle your next big project? Look no further than Milam Rental, now proudly certified as a woman-owned business. For all your equipment needs, whether it's excavating, landscaping, or aerial equipment, Milam Rental has got you covered. From big to small jobs, we've got the right equipment for you. Visit our website at milamrental.com or call us at 434-334-2884. Milam Rental, where one call does it all. Located at 5190 South Boston Highway in Sutherland, Virginia, not far from the Highway 58 and Highway 62 intersection.
T.G. Brooks Supply reminds you that November is the month to start preparing for the holiday seasons ahead and picking up your cold weather supplies and needs. Time for wood stoves. It's also the time for your Thanksgiving and Christmas hams. We're talking about those T.G. Brooks delicious country hams. People come from miles around each year to get one of these hams. It's also the time to do last-minute lawn preparation. On some of the warmer days, you can still utilize the day to spread seed, fertilizer, and spruce up. Then next spring, your yard will have a head start. Right now, the leaves are coming down. Remember T.G. Brooks Supply Company for your rakes, tools, and needs for the lawn. Also remember T.G. Brooks Supply Company when it comes to cooking your turkey. All you need is the turkey. T.G. Brooks Supply stocks pots and cast iron and aluminum pots and double gas burners. Cold weather means a check on your stovepipe and pipe fittings, 6-inch and 8-inch. Check out the Comfort Glow infrared quartz heaters for that extra warmth, and they are fan-forced for wide heat dispersion. Always keep the pets in mind with cedar shavings to keep them cozy on these cold nights. T.G. Brooks Supply has wood splitters, wedges, axes, mauls, and of course, plenty of gloves. Don't forget the bird seed, sunflower, and black oil seed is in stock. Be sure to stop in at Maybell's Boutique straight across the street, where you will find your children's clothing, shoes, and other selections for this season and into Thanksgiving and Christmas. People love their choices at Maybell's. T.G. Brooks Supply Company, 411 Helena Maria Road in Timberlake, serving the homeowner, farmer, and those in construction since 1936. Phone T.G. Brooks Supply Company at 336-364-3016.
Well, we're back. Thanks for coming back to the Gardener's Corner. And this is Bo Freeman with NC State Cooperative Extension. Just wanted to make sure you knew that we had a wonderful week for Farm City. It was a great opportunity for us to showcase agriculture for those people who may not have understood a lot about ag and what it does for Person County. It's a great opportunity for us to look at what we got and how it's there. But we did a breakfast for Person County, and it was great. And I'll go and say that because I was floored by all the components of it. Once again, we had a really nice program that we tried to put together. But to give you an idea about what's going on, it took a lot of work for us to get there. We actually had the breakfast inside a workshop at the Thomas's farms. So the Thomases, thank them very much. I cannot say that near enough. Cleaned out their shop, and we got to come in there with tables and chairs and set up stuff. And so, once again, when you get just bare tables and chairs there, they don't really look that good. Well, we decided let's dress it up a bit. So our master gardeners got together and put on some really nice decorations. And they did a wonderful job of making it look good, even though we were in a shop. But where else better to talk about ag than on a farm? So it matched up really well. So we had the master gardeners came in and they did the centerpieces and helped out a great deal. Wonderful bunch of people. But the Farm City breakfast, we did this last year. And what our goal was to try to get local farm products into local restaurants and have that for breakfast. And we did it. And we had wonderful cooperations with both sides of the fence. We got some products. The butcher's daughter organized it between the farmers and the restaurants. And so we got all this stuff together, and the restaurants worked exceptionally well with us. And let me tell you, nobody went hungry that day. It was we started at 8:30, and we had a whole bunch of people there. But we had all sorts of food. We had everything from smoothies that a lot of people looked at going, but we sold out per se. It was kale that turned them green. And once again, nutrition levels, Jennifer loved it. It was great. It was one of those that it was good. We had fruit there for those people who didn't want any type of live protein. But we did that one as well as different type of bison and pork and beef. It was all over the place. And we had some sweets, and oh man, it was good. And once again, local restaurants furnishing the spread that we had. And a lot of people looked at the cinnamon rolls and said, "Oh, they could have had a little bit more cinnamon in them, but oh, they were good though." And turns out they got bison in them. So it was what? Bison? Yes, buffalo. So that was a local product. So a lot of people did that. Our committee, Travis Tankersley, can't say enough good things about that gentleman. He was there. He's chairman of our advisory committee, as well as one of the members of the Farm City Breakfast or Farm City Week Committee. And Cat Love, once again, everybody jumped in. It's all about collaboration. We did a great job. You got welcomed by Sandy Parker. If you don't know Sandy, you've missed out. She's a good one, as well as Jennifer Brown. And those two put the team together on marketing. They did a wonderful job of getting it out, getting the registration in, and getting people checked in. And we just got all that stuff put together just yesterday. So it was good for us to get all this together so that you know what's going on here in Person County. And one of the nice things about the breakfast is people get there early and they sit around, or not sit, stand, talk, catch up. It's a fellowship component. It's a great opportunity for us. But with Kim being there and her work with the Thomases with their hog operations and some of the other stuff, and Johnny already working with them on some of the horticultural things, it's a natural blend for us to get with their families and talk over things as on an informal basis and not formally. And then we've got to describe all what the restaurants did with the products that were given. And Allison Satterfield does a wonderful job, both of the organizing as well as telling people what's going on with the foods. Once again, we had this thing in a tool shop. So yeah, they've got a big one. And we stuffed, I shouldn't say stuffed. It wasn't stuffed. That was the funny thing. We had 152 chairs. We had about 10 people in the background that you can't see that didn't sit down at a table. It was a wonderful event. We had lots of people there, and all sorts. We had people from the Farm Bureau, from all over the place. And it was a nice opportunity to work together. The Soil Conservation District worked with us, and it was great. We put things together. And also, the GIS department put together a map for us on the ag deferred parcels in Person County. And this gives us a background on how much ag is there. And if you want to, if the radio puts this on YouTube, I've got a picture of all the deferred parcels that are ag deferred. And it's a majority of the county. It's impressive to see that particular map. And part of our program, we brought some youth in, and boy, they chowed down. They had a good time. I think they enjoyed the food there. Their parents brought them out of school, and they had a part of our program. Can't say enough about Brian Whitfield and his work with the middle school children. He's their ag teacher, and he is getting them excited about agriculture. And when I talk about excited about ag, Haley worked with them as well because of the embryology program that we have, or hatching eggs. We've got incubators, we've got all sorts of teaching materials that talk about embryology and the development of the chick from day 1 through day, I think it's 28, and how they develop. And Brian talked about it in his class. Says, yeah, when they hatched, said I was just going to let them be back there, and I was going to teach. And says I knew real quick they weren't going to listen to me, so we all gathered around and talked about the chicks. He says it was a great learning opportunity because it was living. It was hands-on. And that's where we learn the most. But it was ironic. The kids got up in front and talked about it. That was impressive. Haley and Brian worked with the young people to make sure that they had their spill. And these young people were in a tool shed workshop with 150 people in front of them, and they did a great job. It was amazing. We learned about the embryology, and then we also learned about hydroponics and how they were growing and how the root systems work and how they do this and how they do that, and the meters, the technology that they're using to make sure that the water has the proper nutrients in it. It's blending all the sciences together. And just earlier this week, I took some of the plants to the soil or to the tissue lab in Raleigh. So we'll find out what kind of nutrients the actual plants need so that they can fulfill their full potential. And the children know more about it. These kids also went down to Raleigh to the Plant Science Institute, and they were excited because they got to see the technologies in agriculture and how it's growing. It's wonderful. We also had the opportunity to talk about Person County agriculture. Claudia Berryhill opened up the program, and she was asking people questions. How long ago did you play in farming? Who was in your family in farming? How far back did it go? And a bunch of people, their grandfathers or mothers or families were in ag, but their parents weren't and they aren't. So when you looked at, I had a little chart that showed how how agricultural populations on how many people worked on a farm has dropped over the last 40, 50 years. It's dramatic. We were at about 40%. Now we're at less than 2%. So a farmer is a very valuable person. So be careful with them. But Claudia talked about some of the struggles that they have. I've already talked to you a lot about the economics. I hit that up. And then we ended up with Nancy talking a lot about the side programs, the ag businesses, the components of agriculture that a lot of people don't think about, the forestry component of agriculture, and how many people are employed with agriculture in this county. It's amazing when you look at some of the stats. But she did a wonderful job of putting that together, and also talked about land conservation. We're going to be having a program in December on Save the Family Farm. And it's going to start at 8 o'clock. It's going to be here at the Extension Center or at the auditorium. So give us a buzz and see what you got so you can come in and see a lot about it. But this is one of those opportunities that we have with agriculture. And then the highlight of the whole thing was the Thomases got up and talked about their farming operation and how the current farm is 3 generations. However, they don't know how many generations before granddad were in farming, because his dad was in farming and his dad was in farming and back. But they're talking about their current farm is 3 generations. And the use of technology, the use of communication, the shared leadership roles. It was amazing that what they talked about, the different things that each one did, and then somebody else could do it too. They cross-trained. And when you think about a very effective business, that's what they're doing. It's not just a farming business, it's a business. And that's what makes them very successful at what they do. And we listened to what they talked about, what they did. And then after they did their discussion, we went on a farm tour. And they walked us around some of their equipment, and we got to see some of the green John Deere tractors that they have out there. And then we looked at the tobacco boxes and how they work. And then they got on a tram and took them out to the pig barn, and they got to see them as well as in some of the farm fields, and they got to be a part of that. And once again, all this going by, and they're talking, and people are asking questions, and they're answering them. And they also started talking about conservation and ditches that were waterways, that were grassed, and very, very little erosion, and cover crops, and those components that save the soil. And it's not just using the soil, but it's managing it for future generations, because they want that next generation to keep the farm. They're very adamant on that. So it's that rotation that they try to do. And because of that, the Thomases are North Carolina Conservation Farm of the Year for this coming year. They were selected. They were selected in I think they said 92. So they said, but it was sort of funny. He says, we passed it from one generation to the other. And I'm like going, what better heritage could you ever have? So it was wonderful to listen to them and their stories and what they do on their farm and their farming practices. So this sort of concludes, well, I've got 2 more days to talk about within the Farm City week, and I will touch on those along with some of the current events in the next program. We will be making a break here for commercial. And remember, this has been Bo Freeman in the Gardener's Corners with NC State Cooperative Extension here in Person County. We're located at 304 South Morgan Street in the county building in Roxboro. You can give us a call at 336-599-1195. You can ask for anybody from that line, and somebody will say hello when they answer the call. So here, thank you for listening, and we will return. Thank you.
Sandling Golf Cars and Trailers is located 613 Lewis Street in Oxford. Open for business weekdays 8 to 5, Saturdays 9 till 1. Call 1-800-221-9267 or 919-693-4626. Al, Hillary, and Will there to serve you with all of your golf car needs. They have Club Car, E-Z-GO, and Yamaha units. If you're wanting a gasoline or an electric golf car, they have them at Sandling Golf Cars and Trailers. Trojan batteries, parts, and repair service. Thinking about a new grill? Check out the Wilmington Grills at Sandling Golf Cars and Trailers. Speaking of trailers, they have utility, dump, enclosed, stock, and equipment trailers. That's Sandling Golf Cars and Trailers in Oxford, 919-693-4626, toll free 1-800-221-9267. Sandling Golf Cars and Trailers.
Do you have those annoying potholes in your driveway? Need some driveway regrading? Or maybe you just need some new gravel? Give JT Allison a call. Jody has been in business for over 25 years, specializing in driveway grading and hauling gravel. He also does all types of small tractor work and some backhoe and bush hogging work. Jody strives to do a top-notch job and to make sure that you, the customer, is always happy. Whether it's a small job or a big job, we have multiple truck sizes to accommodate your needs. Here at JT Allison, we appreciate your business. Check us out on Facebook at JT Allison LLC or give us a call at 336-583-6250. Jody and Kim Allison. We are rocking the county one load at a time.
Welcome back to Gardener's Corners. This is Bo Freeman with NC State Cooperative Extension here in Person County. And we're going to try to finish out the week for Farm City. And it was a wonderful way to finish. We went to Person County Schools, went to South Elementary, and there we looked at a school garden and greenhouse tour. Erin Redfern has done a wonderful job with her STEAM program with the school from K to 5. And she's utilized some grant monies from outside and put together garden clubs work with her, and the master gardeners work with her, and some other volunteers that just felt good about helping out the kids in the schools. And they did a tour, and let me tell you, she's got a greenhouse that most people would envy. She's got some of the stuff there and she's growing it. The kids are having a blast. She actually has to keep them from going out there all the time because they love it so much. It's hands-on learning. I go back to that. And it's a wonderful opportunity, and she has it in the school there at South Elementary. So she's working hard to keep it going, and she is doing a wonderful job. She has finished up some of the food distributions, and she was a coordinator of it. So she's just a mover and shaker within the youth community and the food security component that we need to talk about more. But she's a very good advocate for agriculture and what it can do for the children. Also, we moved to Friday, that was on Friday, and then Saturday we concluded the week with a wreath workshop. A wreath, that's hard to say, especially when it's supposed to be a forage wreath making workshop. That one's always tied my tongues up. But basically, you did a walk through pastures and trails with master gardeners to assist you to pick out stuff to put in your wreath. And they did this as Hawkins Loop, and it was a paid program. But let me tell you, I saw the pictures. I didn't make it to that one, but it was phenomenal. Those wreaths that these people made. And once again, it's out of their own hands. Notice that term, in their own hands. I've used that a lot lately. So it's an opportunity for you to go out and grab something and make it. So there'll be another opportunity for wreath making in just a little while, but I'll hold off on that one. So those are some of the things that we had done with Farm City. We did a wonderful week. We got everything, I think, tied together pretty close, where we're looking at local things, going by local people in local restaurants, local farmers, local wreath making, local children, local schools. It's there. And so we want to continue to focus on person, because remember, everything's better in person. So look around and let's see what we are up to. Now, speaking of up to, I've sort of focused a lot today's program on Farm City, but let's look to the future. Jennifer has some caregiving during the caregivers during the holidays. She's got a workshop on Tuesday, November the 18th, excuse me. You need to register for it. So you may want to give us a buzz. We can help you with the registration, but it's put on by the Alzheimer's Association. And it's one of those that it's online, but it's a really good opportunity for you to learn more about it. And it starts at 10 o'clock a.m. because Jennifer has another program that same day. She has a lunch and learn, and it talks about eat fresh, buy local. Great words. And it's going to be Tuesday, November the 18th at 12 o'clock. It's a lunch and learn, $5 charge, but she feeds you. And she gets her master, the people to prepare the food for you. So it'll be here in the extension office. You need to come by and pay Miss Sandy so she can put your name on the list so that we know we got plenty of food so that you can eat with us. But it's looking at enhanced fall flavors and learning some healthy tips and twists for holiday meals. Now we talk about holiday meals. Well, on Thursday, November the 20th, we're going to take charge of our diabetes. It's right now that we usually get off track. So this is one of those opportunities that you can have to try to do a better job with your meals. Now this one, Jennifer has over in Granville. Once again, majority of our agents work both Granville and Person County, but it's going to be over at the library in Oxford. So you can travel over there and be a part of it, but it'll be at 10:30. So you can go there, or we've got one that is going to be holiday meals on a budget. And this is one of those that you might want to be a part of because let's get real, it's getting a little spendy out there for a lot of the food, but it's on November the 24th, the week of Thanksgiving. So it's going to be at 12 o'clock, and it's an online program, but you can register with us so that you can be a part of that. Also, swapping over back to agriculture, keeping the farm. This is one of those programs that lots of people don't want to talk about because it talks about inheritance taxes and estate planning and those things that most people don't really want to talk about, death, especially their own. So, but this is an opportunity for people on December the 3rd, especially with farms. There's different strategies that you need to really think about. And we're going to be talking about those, and the program will start at 8 o'clock in the morning here at the extension office. So please, if you've got a farm or you want to give it to the next generation, you may want to come and be a part of that component. So think about that one. December 3rd, keeping the farm. Now, I talked a little bit about the wreath workshop that was. Well, there's one to come up. And this one is going to be on Saturday, December the 6th. And they got two sessions. They'll have one at 9 a.m. to 10:30 and another at 11 to 12:30. These sessions you must register for. And we would like, once again, because you're walking away with a nice, fresh wreath, it's $45. But all this money will go back into the Master Gardener pot, where they do community service for things like the library and those components. So this is an opportunity for you to to make those things come about. So come by the office and give us a registration, and we can put you on the list. So please register. It normally sells out. It's a wonderful workshop. It'll be in the auditorium, and this place smells so good. So you may just want to come by the office just to spend some time. So it gets you into the holiday spirit, that's for sure. Now, we've had a lot of new folks. I talked a little bit about that with the ag census at 30% are new or beginning farmers. So Extension's going to be a part and get ahead of this. We are putting on a small farms boot camp, and this will be put on in January, starting January 21st. It's a series. It's not just one program. No. We're going to look at lots of different things. So it will be for 9 weeks. It will be from 6 to 8 p.m. We're working on the place right now, but we've got it set up. There will be a charge for the class. And so you can have, that will be one of those, call us and we can give you more information. Probably it's going to be over in Granville. But we're going to be at the extension office there. So we've got limited seating. It's going to be a multi-county area workshop. So Small Farms Boot Camp. We need to go on and get you registered for it. It's going to be in January, starting on the 21st. So it's a good opportunity for those who may not know a great deal about farming or want a brush up course. I can recall one time I did one for novice beef cattle producers. I brought in experienced beef cattle producers. They went through the first part of the course because we had them teaching it because they were experienced. And then we did some more components with just the agents. And then after the meeting, they looked at me and said, "Hey, Bo, you mind if we come back next meeting? This is pretty good stuff." And so I'm like going, okay. So sometimes brushing up isn't a bad thing. So those are some of the things coming on in Extension. Once again, we want to wish you a happy holidays if I don't listen to us next Saturday or next Friday. So remember, have fun. Take your time. Look around. Enjoy Person County for what it is and not what you may think it is out there, but what it is right now, because everything's better in person. And remember, this has been Bo Freeman with NC State Cooperative Extension here in Person County, and we will be signing off. Thank you.